Now, the All Progressives Congress APC in Akwa Ibom State has disowned the newly appointed Resident Electoral Commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atang Omore, as a member of the party. Special advisor to the President of the Senate on Media, Eseme Eyibo, at a briefing said even though it welcomes Omore's appointment, it frowns at allegations that the appointee is a card-carrying member of the party in Akwa Ibom, arguing strongly that the pictures of Omore adorned in APC campaign attire was not enough to conclude that he is a member of the party. The party then called on those claiming otherwise to discredit and to come forward with concrete evidence. Civil society organizations had kicked also against Omore's appointment on the ground that he is a member of the APC.
The member of the political party must be not only a card-carrying member of that party, he must be in a financial standing with that political party. His name must be amongst the registered members of that political party. And not, the prescription has nothing to do with uniform or mode of dressing. I can go to, during our campaigns, I can mention some of you who are not members of APC, but for my sake, came to visit me and participated in a rally, and I gave the face cap for them to use. They used the face cap. That does not qualify them as members of the political party.
It's of course different strokes for different folks, for lawmakers who had a case before the Court of Appeal. But let's speak to one of the survivors, Senator Atang John Williams, representing Cross River Central Senatorial Zone, who just had his victory sealed by the Court of Appeal, joining us in the studio. Thank you for coming to Newsnight.
Thank you.
Well, it's important to say, well, congrats to you. But yet again, it's been neither here nor there, different judgments for different political big wigs, you know. When we look at certain principal officers that have been affected, the minority chief whip that's been displaced now, what happens? What do you do when people like that lose their seats in the Senate? What do you do about that? Do you begin now to look for replacements for them, or you go without?
There's a principal officer, and as a principal officer, we respect him. I feel for him personally, because he's a member of my committee. Just last week, Thursday, he was on the same seat with me when we had a committee meeting. So I feel really bad. But the Senate cannot wait forever. We have to move on. The Court of Appeal, in this case, is final. It has taken a decision. The Senate minority team will now look for a replacement for the whip as a minority whip.
So how soon will that happen?
No, I don't. I'm not a minority member, so maybe the minority caucus will take that decision.
Okay, okay then. Yet again, let's now begin to look at some of the issues in the Senate and, of course, the House of Reps as well. You know, because perhaps the most popular one at the moment is the presidential yacht. You know, and a lot of people are confused. Do you want to shed light on that? I mean,
no, sharing light on it. It's only the presidency that can share light on that, because they have the details. But if it is from what I read and know, there was a procurement before the supplementary budget came, which means they've already procured the yacht. It's called the presidential yacht, not because it's being used by the president. It is a Navy yacht, but it's tagged presidential yacht. And in anything that has to do with security, I don't think we have the capacity to talk about
Okay then. But what about, I'm coming back to the configuration of the House, but I just need to quickly touch on these elements. When the Senate disagrees on a particular issue, with the House of Reps. How do you then achieve a happy medium?
Dialogue. We meet and come up with a decision. It's democracy at play. So we meet, we look at all the issues. If there's still disagreement, then it won't fly. We must agree on both houses for it to fly.
Okay then, the configuration of the House. Do we have more APC members or more PDP members now that certain members have been sacked?
I mean, the rulings are still on. I mean, up to today, we can't really, but for APC, we are the majority. No matter what happens, we are still the majority. We can come up with a definite figure after, I think after Monday.
Okay. Okay, so in all of this, what should the people that you represent expect after all these political gambits? What should the people that you have been sent to the National Assembly to serve expect from you?
Effective representation, precise to the points. Having done and gone around campaigning and made promises, it's time for us to get down to work. That which was disturbing, because no matter how strong you are, if you're still in court, you're still shaking a little because you don't know the decision.
Right.
I won my elections, I won the tribunal, and now the appeal. I still, because the people spoke. The courts affirmed that I don't have any option than to do what I have told them. If you give me your mandate, this is what I'm going to do. Having been in the House of Assembly, in one of those times as a speaker, I understand the mood of my people. Cross River Central, which has always been blessed with great politicians. We had Joseph Wayasa, we had Leah Lemoke, we had Victor Ndomegba, we have Jonah Waneno, we now have immediate past, which is the man we call the caterpillar, Sandy Ono, then before me. I have no option than to perform and to do something that tomorrow even my children should be proud of.
What would that be?
By doing that which nobody has done in terms of representation, in terms of projects, monitoring. That is why I went around to know the ends, what the people need, what the people want. What if you do this, because I have been doing town hall meetings to know what they really want. You don't just give people what they don't need. For you to know what they want, you must meet with them. You must have an interface with them. My experience has taught me that. Now it's time for me. The budget is, from next week we will see the budget, then we'll start the operations. I must ensure that most of these projects are captured in the budget.
Well, after the project, then what next?
Deliverings, not just capturing. You go back to the MDS. We found ourselves in situations where we have to beg, or you must have, what you need to show is by going to the various MDS or ministries to ensure that your projects are captured, to ensure that these projects so captured are being implemented. Because that's the only way it will affect your people. And that's the only way it will show that you're working.
Okay, have you also thought, I'm happy you're talking about the projects now. Have you also thought about how much
funds,
150 million naira will get done amongst the projects rather than using that for an SUV? Do you have the blessing of your people to collect that?
I am not in the leadership of the house, but I need operational vehicles. You must have an operational vehicle for you to be able to deliver all these things I'm talking, because you must move. So how do you move? Will you trek to move?
But when you were
I have
campaign-
6 local government.
Yeah.
6 local government with a topography that, I mean, it takes you more than a day to go around, or 2 days.
How did you move when you were campaigning? I'm sure you went to those places during your campaigns.
Yes, because I was a speaker at that time, so I have hillocks.
So what happened to that hillocks now?
I've given it back to the states.
Okay.
I don't have any hillocks now. I've given it back to the states. And I had a SUV as a speaker of a state. But for me, the way our topography is, you really need a vehicle to move around. You cannot trek around. You need operational vehicles.
Yes, but even at that, have you thought of advising your colleagues on the possibility of getting perhaps a cheaper vehicle, maybe another Hilux instead of an SUV?
I'll be candid with you. I'm not in the leadership to talk more on that. Mine is, get me an operational vehicle. I don't know the color. I don't want to know the color or the make. I'll use it for my work. Whatever the leadership chooses, I'll go with them.
Atang Jonah Williams is representing AP, Cross River Central in the 10th National Assembly of the Upper Chamber. Thank you, Senator, for coming to this night.
Thank you very much, and God bless. And God bless Nigeria. I would say, let's work for Nigeria and think Nigeria all the time.